Hey everybody, today we are going to make my what should be world famous grandmother's sweet potatoes, or as she called them, candied yams. That recipe you just saw, I literally keep it in a firebox safe. So first, we need to peel about 3 mid-sized potatoes. The recipe you just saw, it is one of literally only 2 handwritten recipes that she made. I have no idea how many years ago, probably 40, maybe 50, 60 at this point. It's been in the family a very long time, but she gave it to me before she died a few years ago. So after you get about 3 good-sized potatoes peeled, give those a good wash and get rid of your peelings. If you have mad skills, you can use a knife like this or a paring knife. I use a vegetable peeler. It's a lot easier. So get a bowl of water and go ahead and put some lime or lemon juice in it. The lime juice or lemon, the citrus, helps reduce any browning while your potatoes are just sitting on the counter. Now notice how I am pushing down from the top of the butcher knife. When you're cutting these in half, it's not like a regular russet potato that chops pretty easily. You have to put some force down when you're going cross grain. When you make your slices like that, they actually slice pretty easy. That going down slices pretty easy. But just as always, don't give yourself a chance to cut your finger off. These need to be in about 1/4 inch to, well, not a quarter, maybe about a 1/2 inch slices. Doesn't need to be too thick or they just won't cook thoroughly. Too thin, they just get soggy, and about a 1/2 inch is probably more accurate. Now this is where my recipe differs a little bit. My grandmother had this planned out beautifully for the pot or the pan that she had, and the lid that she had, and the stove that she had. I need more water. She called for a 1 cup. I need 3 cups to be able to cover my pan and cook these potatoes thoroughly. We're going to go ahead and add our 1/2 stick of butter. Let that melt a little bit, and then we're going to add 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. If you're new to cooking, new to baking, when you add brown sugar, you pack it in the measuring cup, just like that, because it doesn't fill loose. It won't fill a measuring cup with like a loose fill like a granulated sugar with. The original recipe calls for a 1/2 cup of each type of sugar. I like to make a little bit more glaze, a little bit more syrup at the very end, so that's why I'm using more water and more sugar. Turn that on medium heat and let the butter melt and let everything get mixed in together just to make a simple syrup before you add your potatoes back. And be careful because this is hot, it is sticky, it's basically culinary napalm in the making. If you need to remove a little bit of the water to fit all the potatoes in, not that big a deal. We just need enough to cover our potatoes so that they boil evenly. This is about as much as you would ever want to fit into the pan. Now let these boil for about 30 minutes. That's going to cook the potatoes and give the syrup plenty of time to saturate the potato. Notice how the orange color has just intensified. The aroma of the sugars are absolutely amazing. Some people like to add a tablespoonful of vanilla flavoring, or excuse me, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon, and that's fine, that's good. But you want to cook the potatoes to their fork tender. Basically, you want to be able to squish them with a fork with very minimum effort. That's how you know they're done. Now, this is the biggest difference in mine and my grandmother's version. I'm removing the potatoes because they're done or just about done at this point. Because I added a lot more water, I've got a lot more water to boil off to make the syrup. So remove your potatoes, and then you can just set this on high. You need to stir more if you're going to set it on high, but basically we're going to boil it down to a syrup. Remember to be extra careful at this point because that syrup is full of sugars, therefore it's going to be sticky, and it is boiling, and it will burn you, and it will stick to you and continue to burn. Other words, be careful. This is almost candy making at this point. We are boiling down a simple syrup from a high concentration of water to a low concentration of water. It's already delicious, but with it being a syrup as more than just a thin liquid, it's going to get a better texture. It's going to coat your potatoes a lot better, and it's just all around a good. It's not good. It's great. This is excellent. You will love these. This is one of those recipes my grandmother made at every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every Easter, or when you just beg her to make them, she would make them for you. Family recipe, just all around exceptional, good comfort food. So after you've got your syrup down to the consistency that you want, remember when it cools, it will thicken greatly, so don't boil it down all the way to a syrup. You want it to be a little bit liquid, and that just takes some timing, some finesse to get it right. Boil it down to where you want it, and now we get to serve it. So we're going to plate these up. Look at the syrup, it's dripping just a little bit, just slower than a thin liquid, but when that thickens, it will be exceptional. You'll love these. I hope you enjoy. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.